Alright, what's going on, guys? Chili Games back again with another video in the Suzuya. And while we do have a really good game, there's a lot of talking points that I guess the opponents could have taken advantage of, because I will admit that I should have easily been dead probably like 3 times in this game. And the fact that we actually were able to pull this out is kind of ridiculous. And not really from a good game on my part, but just being able to take advantage of what the enemy team was doing, or I guess the lack of what they were doing. What you're going to see here at the beginning of the game is our right flank basically do nothing, and as soon as I looked over, I noticed that our friendly Benson was full stock and with no camo, so immediately I'm already working my way over to this side because I think he's going to struggle. Not to say that he's a bad player, but when you do see that, you know, it might be a new player or a new person on the line, I'm just like, oh god. So I I see him go behind, and you know, it just kind of puts cruisers in a spot where if there's no spotting, there's essentially nothing that can be done. And that kind of goes to a little bit of a drawback to ships like the Suzuya and other ships that depend on spotting. Your game is heavily influenced by how your team does. When it comes down to it, if you're faced in like a 1v5 or or a 1v2, 1v3, these lightly armored cruisers, especially when you're going up against battleships, will not last very long. So getting a lot of your damage early on and trying to prioritize those heavier armored targets are definitely your priority. Obviously, being in a spot to take out destroyers as well. That's why you see me shoot torpedoes into caps like that. I can't tell you how many times I've shot torpedoes into caps early game and just completely either one-shotted a destroyer or just hit them. And for the most part, I do it because, I mean, you have 11-kilometer torpedoes in something like the Mogami and the Suzuya, so you're not going to need them within the first couple minutes. And if you can get those torpedoes into a trajectory that is at least halfway into a cap circle, especially on this map, a lot of destroyers like to play B pretty aggressively. You will see them speed boost into that and just automatically, just go for it. So the guy captures B. I assume that he would probably go towards our D cap here and towards C, because I figured there'd be somebody with this Cleveland. Ignore that second torpedo salvo going into the island there. We're just not going to talk about that. But obviously there's not much for me to do here. There is 2 things I could be doing right now. I could be pushing in, but the biggest reason why I'm not pushing in yet is because, for one, I'm spotted, and the Cleveland is not the one spotting me because he's not in the island. So I know that there has to be someone else here, and thankfully it's going to be a Nakatsuki, who has, I guess, no idea what the Suzuya, and actually our friend the Suzuya, can do towards destroyers. This thing is definitely can rival Cleveland in terms of DPM, and it can beat it out with, I think, just overall broadside strength. I know the Cleveland reloads much faster, but you also get much better fire chance with AL Atago, so it kind of evens out, in my opinion. I do think Cleveland overall, gun-wise, is better, but the Suzuya is just so brutal with that 15-gun broadside. And obviously with this build that I'm running, I think it's like 7.9 seconds. I'm not too sure. But again, nothing else for me to shoot at. And if I was to face a Jean Bart that is 1v1 later on in the game, I do not want this guy to have a lot of HP, and that's actually going to come down to it at one point in the game, and I'm lucky that I was able to do the damage that I was able to do on him earlier on. Get a fire on him, he uses his damage con, and this is kind of the most frustrating part of the game, especially when you're playing a cruiser and you set a battleship on fire, and they use a damage con or whatever, and you're not able to follow it up. I believe we'll get another one here, and then after that we have no luck setting another fire. But anyways, we are pushing up now. Our flank has decided to push on the right a little bit. I am in this game with Biggles. He's in the Alabama, and this was not a good game from him. Not from him specifically, but what we were talking about afterwards is, you see how our left flank has fallen so quickly? Biggles also has no eyes. There's a destroyer that capped that base over there. So for Biggles to push into ultimately like 3 cruisers and, you know, a destroyer, that's suicide. The only thing about it is he cannot disengage, so that's kind of why I hate playing battleships most of the time, because you are pretty team reliant. And the biggest thing is, if you get caught out on a flank and everyone leaves you, it's very, very hard for a battleship to disengage. So I usually stick with cruisers, because if you do get on a side that is overwhelmed, you can drop spot and you can kite away much more effectively. So unfortunately he goes down early there. Even the Jean Bart was shooting HE at him, so it was just one of those games where there's just nothing you can do no matter how good you are. And we are actually nearing about the time when this game actually gets pretty crazy. I'm trying to intercept the Kutuzov and the Jean Bart with torpedoes here. I need to be careful, because while that Jean Bart was shooting HE, I assume he's going to be switching to AP. At least I hope. And as you saw there, I was going to take a shot at that Colorado, but I decided to keep my guns quiet and turn them towards the other way. What I want to do here is get that island in between me and that Jean Bart, just so he doesn't have the best shots at me or no shots at all, and effectively only have that Colorado in a place to where he can shoot me. And to be honest, Colorado is a good ship, but you don't really see the best players in it. It can be pretty difficult. And I go for the AP shot for the Kutuzov here. The AP is actually really good on the Suzuya. If you don't catch flat broadsides, though, it's going to struggle to actually do, you know, any sort of damage. So we didn't get the best salvo there, but I would rather try it anyways. We do actually get a torpedo hit on that Jean Bart, which is super nice. That, I think, 13,000 damage that we did on that torpedo is going to come in really handy in about 2 minutes or so. And this is where I get caught. I am not in a good spot here. I'm forced to turn towards the Suzuya, and because there's a Kutuzov behind me, there's a Colorado behind me, and there's a Jean Bart in the middle. As you see, I'm looking in the middle there because I know that I'm stuck here, and I have HE loaded still. I would have assumed that this Suzuya would have loaded AP and I would have died here, but essentially I'm just stuck here. So he doesn't... I don't know why he's not shooting AP, but he literally could have dev struck me at least twice by now. I get fed up and load AP. I thought that he was going to turn in, making AP useless. To my surprise, he doesn't, so I load the AP and take advantage of it. The Kutuzov is around here as well, but he's going to be shooting at me, I believe. And Kutuzov AP is very, very scary, especially for a ship like this. And the gun angles that I have are not the best, so you see how much broadside I have to give to actually get all my guns firing on this guy, and it hurts. That wasn't even a Citadel, and he was still smacking me pretty good. If I would have been the least bit angled the other way, or a little bit more broadside to him, that could have been a very fatal shot. But luckily he turned broadside because we have a destroyer right there. Oh, the Benson. The Benson. Now, while I was saying that I kind of doubted the abilities of the Benson, he actually does decent, although I think a lot of that is because it's very easy to score higher in destroyers, I think, comparatively. So now we're kind of angling away from the Jean Bart, trying to keep this island in front of us here, and just trying to do something against this Colorado. But I do realize that I'm still spotted, so the Colorado is definitely not the one spotting me. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, had the torpedo set on the Jean Bart. Looks like he was trying to come chase me, get a double fire, get the cleanup kill on the Colorado, which is super nice. I am stuck here. There's really nothing I can do here. I think I honestly think the best option right now is to sell broadside to this guy, because if I angle away, he's going to overmatch me, and that effectively would give his shells a longer time to arm. We ended up surviving there, and he is also flooding, and we actually get the kill, and the Kraken unleashed right there. So when I told you at the beginning of the game that I should have been dead like at least 3 times this game, that was 3 right there, and there's actually going to be another one. I am still spotted, so that means that there is a DD somewhere. The lightning, I was checking, I was like, oh god, like what DD is this? I don't have a lot of HP. A good lightning player could even straight up gun me down. And I was looking behind me, I was like, what is our team looking like? And to my surprise, my team is not faring anywhere as good as I thought they would be. I actually have the most HP in the lobby right now. But as you can see, with just the front turrets, that was almost 6,000 damage. And I'm not too sure how that lightning was spotted. I believe his detection was like 5.8, which is not good at all. That's actually bad. And he is shooting AP, which is very scary, especially for a cruiser that doesn't have the best armor. He's only shooting his back turrets, and you see how much damage he's getting off of me here. So I'm trying to angle, but I'm getting kind of desperate. I'm assuming that I'm dead here. I am 100% assuming that I'm going to die here. And I was trying to blind fire him, and miraculously he gets spotted again, and he misses those 2 shells there, which is super nice. And at this point in time, I want to get all my guns firing. I don't really care if he kills me. If I can trade with this guy, I think it'll be a win regardless. Even though that Atlanta has a significant amount of health. So this number 4, the 4th time in this game where I should have been dead over and over and over again, finish off that guy with a 6 kill, and now a full health Atlanta. Now, Atlanta is pretty scary, but at ranges like this, the Atlanta is going to be around maximum range, and trying to hit a Suzuya that is around this range with Atlanta's shells. I mean, me and Biggles were talking, you know, it's just like, I don't think I can hit this guy, honestly. Like, if I was at Atlanta trying to hit me in this thing, like, I would not fare very well, and we end up getting some nice shots on him here. Suzuya HE absolutely destroys lightly armored cruisers and tier 6 cruisers that you can penetrate with the 25 mil pin. We get a little bit greedy and go for the AP. I should have just stuck with the HE. The HE is a lot more effective for, I would say, a target like that. And the lightning torpedoes come. Again, another very, very close call there. We have just over 2,000 health. He gets swatted one more time, and I'm able to get this final salvo off against this guy. And we're just hoping and praying at this point that this guy dies. And we get him. So this was completely just luck. Honestly, I should have been dead multiple times, but we do squeak off a good game. And actually, this game is pretty special. If you'll see, if I skip to the results screens, come on. 1 million credits. This is my first 1 million credit game in a tier 7. I was running 1 booster, I believe, for the credits. And 4.2 base XP, 7 kills. This this game should not have happened. Like, I will say it all late. I'm not saying that I'm good, but this, I mean, I should have been dead. I should have been dead so many times. But hey, that's just how it happens. Sometimes you get to take advantage of the other team's bad plays, I guess. So happy to bring this game to you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.